North Carolina Governor Roy Cooper has only about a month left in office before Josh Stein is sworn in. So what does he plan on doing this last month? The governor joining us today. Thanks for taking the time, Governor. You've been in office now for 8 years. Have about a month left. What are your plans for this last month?
Well, we're running through the tape, Jane. We know that Western North Carolina desperately needs help. I've been to 15 counties out there, some of them multiple times. We've been up to Washington to visit with the president in the Oval Office and to Capitol Hill, visiting with members of the U.S. Senate and House of both parties. We're working the state legislature. We know that this was the deadliest, most devastating storm in the history of our state, and that it's going to take significant investment, not only to rebuild and recover, but rebuild in such a way that it can withstand future storms. I have a lot of confidence in the people of Western North Carolina, their courage and determination, and how people have all come together to help each other. I believe we can do it, but it's a monumental challenge, and I'm going to keep running through the tape and working on that and getting ready to pass off that mantle to the next governor. We're also continuing to recruit jobs to our state. We're also dealing with the legislature here during their last couple of weeks, and hopefully that we can stop a power grab that they're engaging in and instead try to get resources to Western North Carolina. But it seems to never end, but I know that it will at the end of the year. And I'm just deeply grateful and humbled for the people of North Carolina giving me this opportunity. What a way to get out of bed every day, recognizing you're going to lead the state that you love so much. And I've been deeply appreciative of that opportunity and thank the people of North Carolina for giving it to me.
Governor, in 8 years, what would you say have been your biggest accomplishments?
Well, being in Charlotte on December the 1st of last year, the first day that Medicaid expansion enrollment opened, and handing a brand new health care card to Penny, who was finally getting health insurance that she had needed. We now have health insurance to working North Carolinians. 590,000 of them in the past year have signed up for Medicaid expansion. We thought that it would take 2 years to get that many people, but it shows the critical need of it. So we've been able to make North Carolina healthier. My mission has been to have a North Carolina where people are better educated, healthier, with more money in their pockets, and Medicaid expansion goes a long way toward that. We've also seen a net increase of 640,000 jobs while I have been governor. And remember, when I came into office, we were facing the dark shadow of HB2, the bathroom bill. We had businesses that had agreed to come here canceling entertainment and sporting events, leaving our state. We were able to get that repealed, restore our reputation. We're now the third fastest growing state in the country, and we're a place where people want to be, and I think that's exciting.
Yes, we talk about that all the time, the growth and progress of Charlotte and really North Carolina. So your biggest obstacles then?
Well, we know that in order to continue to grow our economy and put money in people's pockets, we have to have an educated workforce, and support for early childhood education, quality child care, and public schools is critical. And although during the first few years of my term, we worked with the legislature and we made some progress on that, not as much as I wanted, but some progress. We raised teacher pay over the first few years by about 19%. We know that we need to do a lot more for our public schools. And I think the biggest obstacle has been the fierce partisanship that we're seeing increasing in our state and in our country. Partisan gerrymandering has been the greatest problem in getting compromise and consensus that I've seen, because the legislature has drawn so many deep blue districts and deep red districts and so very few purple districts that there is little political incentive. I believe there's moral incentive, but little political incentive for people to try to find consensus and a path forward. That has been tough to overcome. We've been able to do it in many instances, like with Medicaid expansion, like with clean energy legislation, like with economic growth and job recruitment. We've worked hand in glove on that. We just need to do a lot more of it, both in this state and in this country.
How about this milestone, your biggest surprise?
Well, I think a surprise. Well, when you think about how hard it is to make sure that we get people a good education and to make sure that we invest enough money to get it done. And I think that I have been surprised that there hasn't been more groundswell of support to get the legislature to move in that direction. We're making big progress on that because I think people really didn't understand what was happening. For example, I just couldn't believe that the legislature would give private school vouchers to the very wealthiest among us and take that money away from public schools. It's hard to believe that they did that, but they have. So I think that we need to now get people understanding, like they have in other states who've done this private school voucher scheme, that this is something that doesn't really help children get a better education. It wrecks budgets. And I think it's going to be incumbent upon the next governor and the future general assemblies to correct this problem.
We certainly learned about the resilience of Western North Carolina. You alluded to it. What else will you miss about the people of North Carolina?
Well, I'm not going to miss because I'm going to be here.
True.
I've lived here all of my life, and in fact, and I haven't driven a car in 8 years, so I'm looking forward to doing that. I'm not sure my wife really is looking forward to that much, but I think that at least from being governor, missing having the opportunity every day to make a real and substantive difference to move this state forward. And being in this job, I've had an opportunity to do that, and I know I'll miss it. But even though I haven't decided exactly what I'm going to do after this job, I know it will be something where I can keep making a difference, and that's what I care about.
Yeah, I know you'll be with the people of North Carolina. I did miss, as the governor, what will you miss about the people? But what other wish would you have been able to accomplish in the time that you have, with that time that you have left?
So I once again, I'll come back to our public schools and early childhood education and quality child care. We're going to be facing a crisis here soon if we don't make the investments that we need. Quality child care, for example, is one of the greatest investments we can make. I call it the triple play because it provides children with the early childhood education that they need, that science overwhelmingly says they need. It provides the parent the opportunity to go work and make money for the family, and it provides that business the opportunity to hire that parent. So I want to see the state legislature and Congress, for that matter, invest more in education, early childhood education. I think that's something that's got to be at the top of the list.
You've had many conversations with Josh Stein. Any advice as he moves into his office?
Be persistent. Never, ever give up. During these 8 years, I think we've faced historic challenges, from national disasters to a pandemic. We put North Carolina in a place where we've come out better than most all of the other states post-pandemic, with a strong economy, with a lower death rate from the pandemic, and we're now in a position to really succeed. Also, just never ever give up. With Medicaid expansion, I started out day one in office being sued by state legislative leaders for trying to expand Medicaid. And then just last year, those same legislative leaders came to the governor's mansion as we signed the Medicaid expansion bill that we asked them to sign. And that's because that we didn't, and the people who knew this was important never, ever gave up. also being willing to try to find common ground. Stand up for your principles, stand up for your values, but there are going to be differences of opinion on how we reach goals that we know we need to reach in North Carolina. And being open to finding ways forward with people from the other party, I think that's going to be key to leadership. And I have no doubt in my mind that he can do it. He and I have known each other for more than 20 years. I hired him actually when I was Attorney General to lead my Consumer Protection Division. He's done an excellent job, not only as a state legislator, but as an Attorney General. He's going to be a great governor. He's going to continue a lot of the progress that we made, but he's also going to blaze his own trails as well.
So you talked a little bit about still staying involved. What else can you say about your next step going into 25?
Well, I think there are a lot of things that people can do to move the needle forward. We have seen that in our state where business people have come in and taken government positions for a little while. We've seen volunteer groups and churches make a big difference as they've helped people recover from natural disasters. We've seen businesses grow that have been able to provide great paying jobs for North Carolinians. So there's a lot of ways that you can help. I'm just going to take a month or so to decide how I can best help and continue to add to the woodpile, let's say, to make great things happen in North Carolina, because I love this state so very much and I'm not going anywhere.
All right, very good. I have a feeling this is not our last conversation with you.
Let's hope not.
North Carolina Governor Roy Cooper, appreciate your time and have a great rest of the year.
Thanks, Jane. Appreciate it.